Hi and welcome. My name is Ole Volkemut and I'm so sad that I can't meet you physically. So we have to take each of us a trip out in our local nature and see what we can use here for the pedagogical work. And I hope you also get a lot of experiences while you are out and can send me these experiences on a video. This is my video made for inspiration. I will show you some activities and also give you some facts. Hope you have fun. I'm looking forward to your videos. I love the forest. It's quiet, it's calm, it's relaxing and full of great experiences. And even if you can feel how quiet, beautiful there's still a lot to learn, still a lot of new things to know. And just drop down like that, just laying on your back and looking up at the crowns with all the leaves, which are not there now. It's too early, but welcome. Just laying here. Wow, it's so healthy. It feels healthy, and it is, because there are many experiments which actually have shown that this can count for doses of medication. Actually, people get more relaxed. Their blood pressure decreases when you are lying in nature. Unfortunately, I'm by myself today here. I would have loved to have a group, especially of you, but that's not possible. Well, the first activity I'm going to show you is great for every group, for every age. And actually it's named from a book of Rudyard Kipling. Probably you know the Jungle Book, but he also wrote another book called Kim. And this is a game of Kim. It is it's a kind of place in which you have to find and study very small details in nature and try if you, through that attention at the small things, actually can learn more about the nature. So I made this Kim game, which is a kind of blind game, and you can see here I have collected 10 things in the forest, and when I lift off the clothes, you're going to find exactly the same 10 things. You're curious, huh? Yeah, I'm going to show you what it is underneath this cover, underneath the clothes, but you will only see for 5 seconds. Then I will put on the clothes again, and then you have 5 minutes to go out and find the exactly same things. Let's have a look. Only 5 seconds. And then I'll cover it again. Here we go. Yep, that's it. Now you're going to find this exactly same 10 things. Well, what have we got here? We have this plant called garlic mustard, and you can see it have heart-shaped leaves, and it also have a smell and a taste of onion or maybe garlic. So garlic mustard is a good name, and you could use it for making food. You don't need onions. Okay, and then I got a mushroom, a very dry mushroom from a tree, I got one of the flowers that we see everywhere in the Danish forest right now, anemones. A white anemone. A very young marble, a marble sprout. Impressive. This is going to be a big tree if it lives long enough. Well, this doesn't. And this is a seed from marble. It had a kind of wing, so it can fly out in the world. This is a fern. And a stone, granite. Cone from a larch tree. The larch tree is everywhere here. The larch tree is the only coniferous tree in Denmark that loses all its needles every winter and get them back in the spring. The wood of the larch tree is very hard, and it's commonly used for making playgrounds and furniture and like that. Oh, it's hard. Some moss. And well, right here in the corner, hope you can see it. Oh, it's just running away from me now. Here is a small buck. Well, it's thing number 11. From the beech tree we got this small sprout. It's going to be a big tree, like this one. Wow, when it grows old. Impressive. And then to hold the seeds. Everybody could be a part of this game, and it doesn't need to be a competition, but if you want it to be, you can make it a competition. And it gives a possibility to talk about some of the most common things in the forest right now, to put some more words into it, and it's very meaningful when the kids or the people you have got with you have found these things themselves. And maybe you will be surprised, because sometimes kids and younger people are much better than grown-ups to this. Well, there seems to be many ways of remembering things, and adults normally try to remember details and then bring details together and remember the full picture afterwards. But younger people are better in remembering the whole part, the total picture, and then splitting it up in details. And for a game like this, like a game of memory, if you know that, well, kids are often, their strategy is often much better than ours. A principle that I try to share with you is the principle of the common third, that you don't use long explanations and tell the people you have got with you in the woods all about the species and tell them all the stories, but you use the hands-on principle that people have to touch, feel, sense nature by themselves, because when they do this, they become curious about the longer stories and they want to learn more about the different kind of trees, for example. And I usually tell stories about the trees because they're quite fun. For example, this tree, it's a birch tree. It has this white bark, and a Danish writer called Thorstein Thomsen have made a story about the birch tree to explain why it is white. And he writes that when the world were created, the gnomes they have a palette of colors to put colors on the world. So they went out, but because gnomes, they are so playful, they always like to have fun and they always like to experiment. So they put all the colors together, just mixed them around, and they got only the brown color. And that's why we see that trees are brown, all the stems are brown here. That's because of the gnomes. They colored the world with the only color they got. But when they were almost finished, they discovered they have forgotten the birch tree. Oh, catastrophic. The birch tree had no color. And they only had some very few amounts of the brown color left. So they just put it here and there. And that's why the birch tree is white. But there could be another reason for the white bark. Well, maybe it's a more dull explanation, but you have to imagine that the birch tree is growing up north, up in Lapland, in Sweden and Norway, very high up north, where the temperatures sometimes are very cold, also in the spring. And if you imagine a hot day, a single hot day with a lot of sun, then maybe the birch tree could spread out its leaves simply because it's a single hot day with a lot of sun. To avoid such a situation, that the birch tree get warmed up for only a single day, they got the white bark, because white is a color that reflects the heat and the sunlight. You also know it from many animals which are white, and you also know it from if you wear a black t-shirt and change to white t-shirt on a summer day, which one feels warmest. Do you know this animal? Of course you do. It's a fox. But even though you know the animal, sometimes it's not easy to guess if I tell you that you are a fox and you don't know yourself. And that's why I've made these small pieces of paper, laminated paper, and the idea is that you put them on like this, yeah, like this, without looking at it, like this. So now everybody can see I'm a fox, except for myself. I don't know, so I have to find out. So I ask my comrades different kind of questions which can give me some clues. Like, do I have fur? Do I live in trees? No? Okay, but I got fur, yes. Do I have 4 legs? Yes. Am I white? No. And so on. And suddenly you probably get the important clue and can guess that you must be a fox. And I got plenty of these. See? So I can play this game with probably 30 people at the same time. It's a good way of getting to know each other better, because you can also incorporate that you have to tell your name. Hello, my name is Ole. Do I have fur? And like that. So this is a good game for everybody, and it's very good in the nature because, well, you play it in the nature, But that's not the full story, because these are animals from nature, and you have to imagine what is special about this animal. And I've chosen that all these animals I've got on these papers, they are wild animals from Denmark. You could choose animals from Africa, from zoo. Look for the details in the nature. You should always bring a magnifying glass. This is moss. How does that look when you get very close to it? Well, you open this, and this is very smart because you have this box to put it in. Take some moss, put it in here, and can have a closer look. And with the closer look, well, you can make a drawing of these beautiful small details. Well, here's another possibility to watch things closely. It's a microscope, transportable microscope, which can be connected to your phone. And what do you think this is? It was an anemone, a white anemone. You can make a competition. You can record tiny little details and make a competition of who can guess what it is. In the nature you find forms, you find constructions, which is better than any other play tool you can imagine. There's no other milieus that inspires as much to jumping around and playing. Some trees in the forest can grow much older than the beech tree. This is an oak tree, and this tree is, believe it or not, more than 600 years old. The moss is growing at the stem, but only on one side. It stops here. There's a limit here. Why? Well, it's because moss is a plant without roots. It doesn't make flowers. It doesn't have seeds. And when you haven't got no roots, well, all your water you have to get from rainwater landing on the surface. And if you are on the south side, well, the sun will make the water disappear very fast. I'm sure you know dandelions. They are so beautiful, and they are useful for food. The leaves have a very nice taste. It's a little bitter, from the smallest to the biggest. Well, sometimes strange things. That's it. That's all, folks. I'm looking forward to see what you record for me, and I'm going to make a list of all of your videos and put it on It's Learning, so you are going to see what you have experienced out in nature and what your ideas are. Well, have you seen a swan? It's a national bird of Denmark. Enjoy yourself, stay healthy, get out in nature.